initial release of No Man's Sky and Cubeworld, both games were hyped up a lot by the community. These games were new and something we hadn't really seen before, both sort of tackling a genre that hadn't quite been tackled, and we had seen similar things in the past. These were definitely new, to say the least, which meant everyone was very excited, but sadly this excitement was soon turned to disappointment from false promises from the creators. I did it! But the game today that's gaining attraction and that's come to my attention already has a pretty big competitor. The games that tackle a new genre, but what is a longer awaited and definitely needed competitor for the genre's biggest and only real other game that it has, The Sims. Although there have been other life simulation games in the past, The Sims has continued to completely dominate this market since The Sims 1 was released in the beginning of the year 2000. Bro, I sound like I'm doing like a documentary. And let's be honest, over the years the game has started to get a little sloppy, being the only game in this genre and being owned by what might be argued to be the greediest game company around. Oh, I didn't get this fucking thing. Alright, hold on. I did a little bit of maths in here. It turns out if you were to buy the deluxe edition of the game and every single pack that it came with while it's not on sale, it would cost you £584.97. I'll put some conversions in there as well to maybe euros and dollars, but for what it is, bit mental. Calm down, EA. But finally a competitor has arisen. Okay. I'm definitely about to pronounce this guy's name wrong. In 2019, Alex Mace? Fucking, this is what happens when English is your only language. Announced the game Paralives was in development. Paralives, I have to be pronouncing that right? Paralives will be an indie life simulation game, somewhat similar to The Sims. Pretty fucking similar. Up until recently, Alex was the only one developing this game, which did worry me a little bit, and probably other people, as just like Cubeworld, that only had one developer until his wife game came in to help him out, which really helped. Fuck, sorry. No need, it wasn't even that bad, it was just a bit disappointing. Very recently, Alex tweeted that 2 new 3D designers had joined the team. This is definitely good news, as not only will this mean to... What? As not only will this mean to game might... Good job, me. As not only will this mean that the game might not take as long to develop as it would with a... What the fuck? It may not take as long to develop as it would with if it was just Alex. Okay, that makes sense. But this also means there's someone to go to with advice for the game, and it's no longer just himself. I think, you know, going to other people and being like, oh, what do you think about this idea? Is this dumb? Will they want this? I think that's always good for having a bit more of just someone to tell you, you know, if you're being a bit weird when making something like a game, especially. However, there's still the two biggest worries about the disappointment of No Man's Sky and Cubeworld, if we're using those as examples still. Alex has made a lot of promises of what he will definitely be in the game. Here is a list of things that he says without a doubt will be in Paralives upon its release. Fuck, I need to get up this fucking list. This is why you plan ahead. Alright, so it seems like for definite there will be dogs, cats, horses, cars, weather, small boats, custom houseboats, diagonal staircases and curved pools. There are some definite features in the game, which sounds good. I think he has mentioned some other ones as well. There are obviously things he said that aren't going to be in it, mainly just drugs and shit, things you'd expect. He also say it's not coming to console for some reason. Why did he say that? Like, it might do in the future. I don't know why people do this. There's been times when people have said this and they're like, oh, never mind. Now it's coming to console. Just ignore what we said then. It's a little weird. I don't know. Another worry is that Paralives is getting a lot of attention. And with this attention, there is hype arising around Paralives. It's not even an English sentence. You know what I'm saying? Hype tends to mean pressure. Which pretty much... There's not a whole lot of hype at the moment, but I think that's just because he really mentioned that he's bringing it quite recently. That he's developing it, you know. I think this year, I think in particular, there's going to be a lot more hype. I don't know, just speculating. You could say it's a sort of niche sort of audience at the moment, because obviously it's only people who like The Sims, but even that's not that niche. I mean, The Sims has had over 10 fucking million downloads I'm not sure if all of those were bought, because it was free for a bit, but I think a lot of those were bought. And apparently, on average, 3 people have bought expansion packs. Not relevant, just interesting. Think of fucking all that money, baby. Hey. I'm just a little worried about the hype that's going to build around it. Definitely not saying hype's a bad thing. The game really does seem to be good so far, and it's nice to just say fuck you to EA. Here's someone who's gonna try their best to just fuck you in the ass and get your shit together, EA. It's interesting that we're seeing this indie developer doing things that EA said they couldn't do in The Sims, but they probably could easily do it. It's probably just out of laziness, if anything. They've got this game, there's no competitor at the moment, so they're like, fuck it, where are you gonna go? You know? Well, now we've got somewhere. I do hope that Alex keeps his promises, and he takes time on the game so that it's perfected to the best of his abilities, so that it can be a real competitor to The Sims. Because I think he definitely has something here that it could be great, you know? We could finally have something else that isn't ran by fucking EA, which just, I think, if anything, that's what ruins The Sims, you know? I think once EA got its greedy hands on it, you know, they were like, well, we could make a lot of money out of this. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't all EA, you know, maybe the people who made The Sims were like, hell yeah, money. Yeah, fair enough, I suppose. But, yeah. I definitely want hype around the game so that people can support this developer. He's obviously a small indie developer, it'd be nice to support him. So I'm not saying just get rid of all hype, I think just don't put too much pressure on Alex to make this amazing. Don't... obviously he has made some things like this is definitely in the game, but I think with mistakes that we made with Cubeworld and No Man's Sky, we sort of took everything they said as gospel. Maybe don't do that, just in case. Don't want to be too disappointed. We don't want him to pressure him to releasing it too early either. Just take your time, you know. Want it to be the best it can be. Yeah. But anyway, I'm definitely excited for the game. I'm sort of sick of The Sims 4 being as empty it has been. And, you know, it has been slowly improving, but with such a huge team that it has, you would have expected that they wouldn't be as lazy as they are being, and would actually respond to what the audience want, and what players seem to just fucking keep saying they want, but they're like, no, we're not going to update it for that, you have to pay money for that, or we're not just going to do it at all. I don't know, The Sims has just been pissing me off lately. I just really want another life simulation game that doesn't cost the price of a house, you know, to have all the content that's in it. I definitely appreciate that over everything.